Just last week, the UK Prime Minister made an announcement that NHS England is going to be scrapped. And just about the same time, there was also an announcement in the official statement of change that the salary threshold for a skilled worker visa, for care worker visa, is going to increase to £25,000. So there's been a lot of reactions and questions around this. So in today's video, we're going to be going into exactly what this means for immigration, for migrants moving forward. Is this the end of NHS recruitment? What does this mean for healthcare workers, care workers in the UK? So let's just dive right into it immediately. My name is Tochi. You're welcome to my channel. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up so YouTube can recommend it to more people as you're watching it right now. Thank you. To all my returning subscribers, you guys are amazing. You're welcome back to today's video. And if you're yet to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button right now. Thank you. So, the government has announced NHS England will be abolished to cut bureaucracy and reform how the National Health Service is run. These changes will not impact anyone's access to the NHS. It will still be free at the point of use and cover all the services it does already. So they're trying to explain to us exactly what these changes mean, because when the Prime Minister announced it, that NHS England is going to be scrapped, it's going to be abolished, there was, a lot of reactions, a lot of people, probably they didn't really understand exactly what this means. So let's just touch on it a little so that we can all understand exactly what these changes mean, right? So around 9,000 administrative roles are being cut at NHS England and the Department of Health and Social Care as part of the changes, amounting to roughly half of all roles at the two organizations. What does NHS England do? NHS England is the administrative body which manages how health services up and down the country are run. It is made up primarily of managers and officials, not the doctors and nurses providing care in the hospitals. So this change does not affect healthcare workers, the frontline workers, nurses, doctors, care workers, and everybody. It does not affect them. So this is basically about administrative restructuring and not the end of NHS that right? Only how they can merge this with Department of Health and Social Care to reduce bureaucracy and all of that, So basically the government is saying that why they are doing all of these things is to redirect resources to properly fund the frontline workers, like doctors, nurses, healthcare workers, basically. So this might actually even mean more jobs for healthcare workers. You're going to have enough fund to employ more workers, to fund these workers and help them be more productive, probably increase salaries or something like that. Just basically make it easier and better for frontline workers to work. Okay, so it's more about administrative. Yes, there are a lot of people that are employed by NHS England, more of managers, administrators, and all of that, right? So their jobs might be on the line, and the government haven't really said exactly what they are going to do for them, what they're going to do about those jobs. Okay, but it does not affect healthcare workers at all. This announcement has nothing. If for anything, is even better, I think, because it's going to be better for healthcare workers. They might recruit more doctors. You know how you go to the GP or you call the GP and they say you have to be on the queue because nobody's available to speak to you or something like that? It's because we don't have a lot of GPs. So with all of this restructuring now and this change, it's going to be easier for the government to employ more doctors, more GPs, probably even help them, train them, fund their training and everything, employ more nurses, employ more healthcare workers, and employ more more carers and everything, just so that they can all serve us better. And so the government provides it with money and tells it what its priorities are for the health service. For example, that might be cutting waiting times or improving cancer survival rates. So NHS England's role is to funnel the money it is given into different parts of the health service and work out how to juggle resources in order to bring about the change the government wants to see. So this was done in 2012, where NHS England was given more independence, to function. But now the Prime Minister believes that overhauling management structures will put NHS England back into democratic control and free up money for frontline services, right? Just going to put all that money straight to fund more frontline workers, So I think it's a good thing, for healthcare workers. It's going to be better, right? They're just trying to improve working conditions and services and everything for frontline workers, even employ more people to help boost healthcare and make it as effective as it's supposed to be, right? So there's nothing to worry about, there's nothing to panic about as a healthcare worker or someone that is aspiring to work in the UK. It doesn't affect sponsorship, it doesn't affect recruitment, nothing like that. So all these things are just basically what the government is doing. You know, because for a long time now, the government have been talking about how to improve healthcare services in the UK. So this is exactly just one of the ways they are going to do that, you know, by scrapping NHS England. So you see here, NHS England is also responsible for other functions like overseeing training and collecting data, as well as managing GP services. So they're also explaining that there are separate organizations in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. So these changes only impact England. So looking at this also, it also explains itself better how NHS funding is distributed in England, right? So Labour is scrapping NHS England, which distributes about 90% of government health spending in the country. So from the top now, you see Department of Health and Social Care, down to NHS England, and then local integrated care boards, you know, service providers, you see local authorities, you see service providers. But now they're going to take off this NHS England, so the money just goes directly, you know, without that NHS England, right? So you see, when the NHS England is taken off, it goes directly to local integrated care boards and then service providers, where you find primary care, dentists, GPs, pharmacists, and then hospitals and, you know, mental health services, community NHS and everything. Okay. So it's not taking off this announcement is not about the GPs, dentists, doctors, hospitals. No, it's basically about the NHS England, right? They're just basically removing that body so that things can be done quicker, and then they can be put in more funding into funding the frontline workers that provide healthcare services and all of that. So you see that it's a good thing, even though the people that work under this body, this NHS England, a lot of them, their jobs are going to be affected. You know, most of them are going to lose their jobs because the government is taking that out. The government have not said exactly what they're going to do with those people, if they're going to provide more jobs for them, or we don't know, because we know there are about 9,000 to 10,000 people that are going to be affected by this. You know, people that work with the NHS England, you know, and their roles are basically administrative and all of that. Hopefully the government will find a way to, you know, get them new jobs or something. But yeah, they're scrapping the NHS England. So that is that. And secondly, and what I'm going to be talking about is about the fact that in the statement of change, they announced that they're going to increase salary threshold to £25,000, right? So does this mean that they're going to stop recruiting care workers? So let's find out what the NHS body is saying about it. So this is nhsemployers.org, and it has said Home Office announces new immigration policy changes. So immigration changes announced by the Home Office to be implemented in April will impact care workers, skilled workers and band 3 staff. So how is this going to impact them? The Home Office has said that the minimum salary threshold for skilled workers will increase to £12.82 per hour, or £25,000 per annum from £23,200. So what does this mean for NHS trusts? Due to the increase to the salary threshold after April 9th, entry-level band 3 roles will no longer be eligible for international sponsorship, because it does not meet the salary threshold. Okay, the salary threshold for band 3 entry role is lower than £25,000, right? So now from the 9th of April 2025, if you're getting an entry-level band 3 role with the NHS trust, you cannot get sponsorship because your salary does not meet the salary requirement for a skilled worker visa or for sponsorship, simply put. So employers will need to wait until the agenda for change 25/26 pay award is announced to determine if it will be above the 25,000 salary threshold. So until that announcement is made, an entry-level band 3 role will no longer be eligible for sponsorship with the NHS, because now currently, you know, if you get a band 3 role, you are eligible to get sponsored, you're eligible for a skilled worker visa and all of that right now, okay? But from the 9th of April, once this new salary threshold comes into place, it will no longer be eligible. So those band 3 roles that require renewals on the top step point of 25,674 will meet the required skills and salary threshold and can continue to be sponsored, right? So once you get a job with the NHS basically and your salary is above £25,000, you'll be eligible to be sponsored, just simply put. But if your salary is lower than £25,000, you will not be eligible to be sponsored. So, and we know that with the NHS, because of this, their agenda for change, there has to be an increase in salary. You know, it has to be a national thing. You cannot just come and tell them, oh, increase my salary, please. I want to get a skilled worker visa, and then they'll just increase it. No. So there's a pattern. They have the way they run their things. They have the way they look at everything and increase everybody's salary from the ground level to the up level. Everybody's salary is going to be increased. But until that time, if you get a job that pays less than £25,000, you will not be eligible. So let's see what happens now that the government is planning to scrap NHS England, you know, and with more funding they'll be going directly on staff and services that have to do directly with patient care and everything. Let's see if they're going to increase salaries of, you know, healthcare workers, people that work with the NHS and everything. Let's see how everything plays out. Fingers crossed. Okay, so yeah, that is it. I just thought to update you guys, to let you guys know what is happening and what all of this is all about. So do not worry, do not panic. If you're a healthcare worker and still wish to get a job with the NHS, you know, or you're even in the UK and still want to be sponsored by the NHS, don't worry about any of this. You know, all you have to do is just upskill, get yourself all the skills and experience that are relevant and necessary that you'll be needing, and then apply for the jobs that are eligible for sponsorship, you know, and you're good to go. Hopefully from now there's going to be more jobs, and I believe that there are going to be more jobs. They're going to recruit more healthcare workers, because like we all know, the healthcare sector in the UK is suffering from labor shortage. Like, we can't even say that enough. The healthcare sector especially is suffering from serious labor shortage, serious staff shortage, and you know, with all of this we'll obviously have more money to fund patient care, frontline workers, employ more people and all of that. So let's see how that goes. Okay, don't forget that I am your plug for anything updates. Once anything comes up, I'll definitely let you guys know. Yes, this is not an immigration advice of any form, disclaimer. This is just me sharing this for information purpose. If you need a professional advice, do well to get one. This does not replace it at all. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.